Howdy. So VDK here with Devin. And today we're just going to talk about some of the new cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, or as I like to call it, Commander Legends 4, because, well, to be honest, that's really what it is, right? At this point with all the legendaries. So, first off, what are the biggest cards you're excited for?
The two biggest cards I'm excited for is the new Garrett.
He's
just another Kiki GV in the command zone.
for 3 mana as opposed to 5.
Yeah. So you're just able to do a lot. It also has haste, and it also makes it to your other creatures that you want to make copies. So
Forgot he has haste.
yeah. So that way, if you're able to get a copy of Dockside super early, you're just able to make multiple Docksides a turn.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're just able to have a bunch of fun and value out of it.
Oh, so much value. So much value.
And then the second card is probably going to be one of the Rakdos cards. I believe it says whenever another outlaw DTBs, I get to ping my opponents for 1. That's a really good card just for Alpha in general. You do have to increase the number of outlaws you play, but because outlaws is an overarching type, it includes like warlock, assassin, rogue, mercenary. You're able to play good things like opposition agent,
Brass or Merigoth Blood Sky Sire.
yeah.
Blankos, who's really good because he just makes treasure and paints people for each party you have, and you're always gonna have 2 because he counts as 1, and your painter will count as the other 2 because he rogues and party overlap.
Yep. So it just allows you to have more card advantage, and because it's a 2 job, it just allows you to get a value out really early in the game.
Oh yeah, 100%. My 2 cards are Vraska Joins Up, a green-black legendary enchantment that can be played off of Delighted Halfling and can be countered off of Delighted Halfling. That gives all your creatures death touch. And whenever you play a legendary creature, you draw a card. And so the reason I like that is because I play Omnath Legendary Dragons. And so you can kind of see where that's going. Oh, hey, pay 2 mana, give all my dragons death touch. Anytime a legendary creature deals combat damage, I draw a card. This deck is almost all legendary creatures. So it gets out of hand really fast in terms of providing card advantage and value for a kind of budget deck. And then there's also another deck I'm considering it for. I'm working on CDH, one of the spoilers from the new Commander decks, which is my second most excited card for now, until they probably reveal the other phase Commander that's probably going to be focused on crime shenanigans, because the deck's called Grand Larceny, but more on that when it comes out. Gonti, Kenny, Gonti, Kenny, person who steals stuff. Because that's all he does. He's Sultai to generic because I'm the Sultai player. Whenever you deal combat damage to a player, whenever one of my creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, exile top card of that library, and you may play it under Gonti, regardless of mana coloring restrictions. So, a lot of the stuff I played before was Pokwin Halden. He does all the stuff Pokwin Halden does. He just doesn't get bigger. He doesn't have like ways of evasiveness, but he's in better colors in terms of manipulating decks, types, and like having tutors and stuff, and just better win cons available. So I'm probably currently working with a just generic value shell that I'm still trying to figure out. And he's at my preferred CMC of commanders, which is 5 drops or less, which I know a lot of people don't agree with, but it's like it's the right like sweet spot in terms of like I can play and look like I can get him out consistently turn 1 and not really have an issue. And because he kind of does stuff super early and provides value super early, he does a lot of stuff that's really good in terms of like stuff I actually care about in terms of generating value off of the game. Another card that I'm like kind of interested about is the new Riku, the one who cares about modal spells, and every time you cast a modal spell, you choose one of his abilities for each modal you choose.
I would probably thought more of the sprees were like more viable.
Yeah. They are pretty storm.
The concept of spree is interesting and cool, but the spree cards that they currently have, I don't like. I may play the tutor one just because that's just a 3-drop tutor.
Yeah.
That only burns me for 1 on Adnaz. But other than that,
it only does burn for 1.
yeah, but other than that, it's not really something I would play. It's also sorcery speed, so it's basically just a groom tutor.
Yeah. I'd probably, other mechanics I probably would run more of is the plot. Plot seems really good.
Plot is just it's slightly better, but also worse than Foretell. Foretell, you are able to make the card cheaper and then cast it on another turn, and people don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Plot, you do have to exile it face up, but you're able to cast it for free.
Yeah, it's 0.
But the plot cost can be higher than the spell cost.
Well, yeah, but like again,
So-
you're paying 0 for it to play it at any time. The only one I would be playing is the green black one, plumb the search the bog or whatever it's called, plague the bog or plumb the bog, where it just draws you cards. And
Is that the one stack any number of creatures, draw cards equal to the map?
no, it's the one that look at the X help cards in your library, add them to hand or graveyard for where X is the number of lands you control. So you plot that out super early. You get like 6-7 lands out, and it's just a really good dick card. That's just, even though it can only be played at Swiffer speed, it still like draws 6 or 7 depending on when you play it. Because like when the turn you can plot it, it's still going to get you 3 cards. So
I feel like Magic is just finding ways to increase your hand size. That's what plot is.
Yeah.
You're pseudo increasing your hand size.
yeah,
But the problem with it is that because you're giving your opponents free information, I don't like it.
yeah. Which it's like a two-edged sword, because it's like you have all of these things that give them extra cards at the sake of people knowing what those cards are. Which I'm all for, because I'm really not liking having to run into that Bowmasters, but anything that gets around it, I'm like, oh cool, let's do that. So those are kind of like those are the cards we're kind of like looking for in terms of like top 3, top 2 stuff. This is the first half of the like spoilers being revealed after the first week. We'll see what happens the next week, because I'm pretty sure that's when they're gonna start revealing the commanders, and then we might do a video for the commanders, because this deck has like had some real hitters that have been like really interesting design space, and real terrible cards. So we'll see how it goes. This has been VDK and
Devin?
we will see you later.